Shalom. Shalom, everybody. We back and we live again. It is Friday night. I'm off the back of a curry takeaway. Ain't no better way to spend your Friday nights. Friday nights, curry takeaway, and run this stream, run this show, preview for Aston Villa with a nice big fucking pint glass of chocolate milk. Smashing the bosh! And a bit of strudel waffles as well. So have one or two of those, a little bit. Probably save it until after the show. So restraint. We show restraint here. But man, we have got some big business to do on Sunday. Traveling to Villa Park to play Unai Emery's Aston Villa. And what more is there to say about Aston Villa? Currently sat fourth place in Champions League qualifications. Man United in sixth. And sat in Europa League, not conference, but Europa League positions. We want Champions League positions, though. So to do that, we're going to need to pick up a lot of dubs. A lot of dubs between now and the end of the season. And we gotta overtake Big Ange. Loving Big Ange instead. Got to take over the Chicken on a Basketball Football Club and our opponents on Sunday, Aston Villa, if we want any chance, any shot of getting into that the Holy Grail competition for Champions League next season. So it's a tough game on its own, and a few banana skins on the way. So not the easiest run of fixtures. Now, if you're any other club at the top end of the table, you'd say, well, actually, that's that's a somewhat nice run of fixtures. But we're not talking about top end at the moment. We're talking about Manchester United, who have had an absolute torrentially bad season. And yeah, it ain't great. It ain't great. So we kind of can't talk about travelling to Villa Park and slapping teams up. Then again, I say that Chelsea managed that on Wednesday night. They managed that somehow, some way. Everyone said, "Now this team is done. This team is done. It is finitoed." And then Chelsea, in all of the diabolical mess that they're in, had probably their best game of the season, probably the most comfortable game of the season, and it comes against Unai Emery's Aston Villa at Villa Park. We're up next. Is it going to be as easy as that? Hell no. Hell no. No chance in hell at that. There's no chance. I'll be really surprised if in any instance whatsoever, that Unai Emery does not get a response from that team after the absolute shambles that they put in midweek, send themselves out of the FA Cup. You know, they're going to want to get revenge, or they're going to want to get a response. And what do you know? The red punching bag of Manchester seemingly turning up on the Sunday. So they're getting the practice swings in right now, of course, and then the beating shall commence on the Sunday. But hopefully, this punching bag has got automated arms with one hell of a ferocious swing on it as well. So maybe Aston Villa will start punching this punching bag, and we'll just out of nowhere, left, right, good night. I'm hoping it's going to be something like that, because it not only means that, beat a team above us in the Champions League positions, and we close that gap ever more. Because at the moment they're sat on 46 points, we're sat on 38. If we can chop that down, I think it would be down to 5 points, I believe, and 41. Yeah, 41 points we'll get onto, and we'll close that gap down to 5. And we're going to need to do as much of that as possible. as much points gathering as possible. 3 points collector needs to come out in full force, starting from now. Big ups to Old School Gunner. Hiya, bro. How we doing? How we doing? Big ups to Carl Rossi as well. Good to see you. The Fizzy. Nice logo, by the way. I've seen that logo. So big ups also to Drew Gunners for that. Big ups to Drew Gunners. Fantastic. And, bless him. He's done it for a few people and he's done it completely for free. So big shout outs to Drew Gunners on the artwork, but also big ups to Carl Rossi as well, the recipient of said art piece, which is all good stuff, all fantastic stuff. The coveted top 5 trophy. You're damn right. I mean, I'm glad that Arsene Wenger or people like Arsene Wenger aren't really sort of dictating the new narratives in football. Because as much as Arsene Wenger, legend in the managerial game by all means, but some of the ideas he has, wacky as anything, absolutely wacky as anything. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Smash the like, guys. 100%. Please do. Be most appreciated. Already on 3 likes. All good stuff. Up to 153 subscribers as well. So somebody has subbed. Fantastic. Since we were last active on the I believe it was on Wednesday actually. Was when we were last active, which was on the. It was a catch-up stream and also in the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly episode 4. So make sure to go check that out. Also, doing episode 5, same again, Wednesday next week. So do keep your eyes peeled for that good stuff. And of course, plenty of other shows happening over the weekend too. So all good stuff. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a smashing weekend, banging weekend. So we're going to be here for all of it, except tomorrow because I'm working. But it is what it is. We've gotta get the green. Gotta get the greens. Predicting a 2-2 draw. Villa will come out fighting, but United have been better of late. They have been better of late. Problem is we haven't got a Martinez, so is Ten Hag going to revert to type? Is it going to be disaster settings, or are we going to find a new lease of life? Will a combination of maybe Harry Maguire and Raphael Varane, or a Lindelof and Varane centre-back partnership do us nicely? As long as that midfield partnership doesn't change, I'm all good. I'm cozy with that. Minu Casemiro, keep that going. Keep that partnership going. The midfield situation should keep its head above water just about. So fingers crossed that Casemiro can stay fit and Kobe Minu can stay fit as well. So big up Friday Night Fuzz. Absolutely. Big ups to Stephanie Griffith. Good to see you as always. Up to 4 likes. Good stuff. Keep it going, people. Big up to Drew Gunners. A lovely Friday surprise. 100%. 100%. Big ups to Drew Gunners. Big ups to everybody. Totally forgot about Martinez. I know it. Thankfully, it's not a horrendously bad injury. About 8 weeks thereabouts. So he should be back before the end of the season. So I mean, hopefully we don't run into too many troubles between now and then. Get him back fit, play out the last couple of games. Should be back for Arsenal. Should be back for a couple of games actually before Arsenal. But yeah, it'd be good to have him back ASAP. Probably, I'd imagine maybe early to mid-April, perhaps. Around then, he should be back fit and available and playing. But yes, Aston Villa, the villains. What can we say about Villa? So, word on the street, Pau Torres and Luca Digne, both fit and available as far as injury news is concerned, supposedly from what I've heard in the injury front. No Buendia, no Duran, no Konsa, and no Tyrone Mings. So unfortunately, we're not going to see any more. We're not going to see Street Fighter happening on Villa Park. unfortunately, no, there's no Tyrone Mings, and we haven't got a Zlatan in the team. So unfortunately, no Street Fighter. No Mortal Kombat shall be played out on Sunday. Sadly. Unfortunately, no limbs will go missing. Um, but yeah, go to Liverpool if you want that to happen, because they like to steal a lot of strange things in Liverpool. But anyways, what are we missing? Tyrell Malacia, of course. Martial, of course, he's out to the end of the season. Well, he's not really a United player anymore. He's going. He's going to be gone at the end of the season. Lisandro Martinez, unfortunately, 8 weeks out. Should be back sort of early April-ish time, I would imagine. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well, not fit and available. But I think he's very, very close to returning as well. Mason Mount is training, but not quite match fit. So, question marks. Question marks about Mason Mount. Will he feature on the bench? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. And if he does feature on the bench, what's Ten Hag going to do with him? What is the manager doing with Mace Money Mount? Is there a plan? Is there an idea? For me, if you want to play Mason Mount, he plays instead of Bruno. He plays in that position. Don't play him instead of Casemiro or Kobe Mainu. Don't play them as either or instead of either or of those guys, because we need defensive coverage. And that's a good balance. I don't want us to even remotely look to upset that balance, and keep those two playing together for as long as we can. Please, please, just for me, as a present. Early birthday present. My birthday isn't until July. My birthday isn't until July, so please, early birthday present. Keep them playing to now and the end of the season, just to see how they sort of gel together, and how they progress. Um, so yeah, but yeah, Mason Mount instead of Bruno Fernandes. Rotate between those two guys in the attacking positions, attacking midfield. That's where Mason Mount's qualities are. That's probably where you're going to get the best out of him. For me, he's not really. It's like a Christian Eriksen with legs. You know, high work rates, but not really the sort of defensive know-how, if you will. So yeah, for me, that's where he's got to play. As for the rest of the team, I mean, Andre Onana. Come on, Andre Onana. I mean, Bayindir. If it was down to me, Bayindir's playing. He is playing, but unfortunately, I'm not the manager. I can't persuade him to play somebody else. Plus, Andre Onana's his signing, so he's going to back him to the high heavens. He's going to back him to the high heavens, and that's that. That's that. Andre Onana, the invincible man, literally bulletproof, plays every single minute of every single game. If that guy, right, were to have his head chopped off, they'd start him in goal anyways. Literally, they'll grab a seat, they'll sit his body down, and they'll just quickly pop his head on the top. Away you go, Andre Onana. That's what they'll probably do. For some reason, there's absolutely no way in hell that Bayindir is getting a game whilst Onana's around, which is a shame, because I think I think Bayindir needs some time. He needs some minutes. You need to give him some game time experience. Get him bedded in a little bit. See just how far he can go, as opposed to sitting on the bench and have him preying on potentially an injury, or just that poor form that Onana's just putting the ball into the back of his own net for no reason at all. Maybe then he'd get a game, but then again, it's Ten Hag's boy. He still probably won't. He still probably won't get picked. It would probably literally take to the point of just trapping him inside a box, just literally an iron box, tape it up, trap him in a box, and maybe, just maybe, Bayindir gets a game. Just maybe. But defense, Luke Shaw, I think, at left back is probably most likely option. The centre back partnership, for me, if it's down to me, again, everyone knows my feelings on Harry Maguire. I would probably opt to go with Lindelof and Varane, see how those two get on with each other, and Diogo Dalot on the right back position. Great game against West Ham. A lot of people say man of the match performance. I probably wouldn't go as far as to say man of the match, but probably most important feature of our defence on the day. For me, definitely most important feature. Uh, Defensive coverage, absolutely vital. And I think if he's got the head on his shoulders to spot those kind of moments of danger, it's going to be massively vital for us in the Villa game, because the pacey wingers, tricky wingers, pacey striker as well, extra midfield runners. There's going to be plenty of that going on. Not just that, but also attacking fullbacks. There's going to be a lot of exploitation down the wings. And we're going to need both of our fullbacks to be on their A game. So, yeah, 100% for me. Luke Shaw on the left back position, Diogo Dalot on the right back position, and we'll move into midfield. What was that about Liverpool? Oh, just a terrible city all around, you know. I know everybody that goes there says it's a lovely place, but you know, if you support Man United, it's the worst place on earth. Just hell on earth, literally Satan's pit. Or from if you like Marvel stuff, you know, like Thor Ragnarok, I think it is the Devil's Anus. Just call it the Devil's Anus. Pretty much. But that's just Manchester United bias, you know, Rods. But big ups to you, man. Good to see you as always. Early present. 100%. Make it my birthday 365 days a year. Do that. 365 days a year, make it just, you know, like a wizard song, right? I wish it could be Christmas every day. Well, guess what? I wish it was my birthday every day. And everyone treated me like a king every minute of every hour of every day. That would be blessed. That would be really blessed. But I can live in hope. Hit the likes and sub, people. Oh, this is a real one. Said most fantastically by a real one too. You know, the saying goes, real ones recognize real ones. So big ups to Carl Rossi as well. But please do hit them likes. Please do smash them likes, and if you're watching on playback as well, do also hit the likes, as well as get your predictions for the game on Sunday. What your expectations of the matches, as well as your key players, your predicted lineups and predicted score lines as well. We're going to go into the rest of the team and all that good stuff. So as I've already said with the midfield, big up, bro. I've hit the like. Fantastic stuff. Uncle Rod's, fantastic as always. Thank you very much for that. But as I've said with the midfield, defensive midfield, Kobbie, Mainu, Casemiro, that has got to stay the same. Got to stay the same. Pretty much with most of the team. As much of the team you can keep the same as possible, that's what the focus for me has got to be. So yeah, Kobbie, Mainu, Casemiro in that midfield position, just extra assurance and definitely something to commit towards winning a midfield battle. We've got a tough midfield battle to play against Aston Villa. The likes of John McGinn, Yuri Tillemans, I believe Douglas Luiz as well. If we look at the last team that they put out, I think also Ramsey. I know Jacob Ramsey's pretty good. Pretty darn good, that player. Who else? Kamara. Definitely a difficult. It's a very competitive midfield. That very very competitive midfield. Um, so we do have our work cut out for us, 100%. Even Zaniolo, I forgot about Zaniolo. Forgot that he jumped from Syria into the Premier League. Absolute mad stuff. Uh, I predict the Fuzzmeister will do a double shot of chocolate milk after Villa. Mate, I might need to. I might need to run up 2 pints. I might need to run up 2 pints of chocolate milk and spike it with some weird tangy stuff. I don't know what that's going to be. I'll have to see what comes up first or what I find first. First, bottled substance. Forget whether it's edible or not, or consumable, or safe to consume. First, a bottled substance. I'll spike my chocolate milk with. But big ups to DJ Crane. Great to see you as always, man. 5 likes. Fantastic stuff. Keep it coming, people. Keep it coming. Big ups to Rajat. Hey, Buzz. How we doing, man? Hope you're well. I'm kind of worried about Villa's midfield. It's a difficult midfield. It is a difficult midfield, but I want to back, if we run this midfield, Kobe, Manu, Casemiro, and you can stick whoever else in front, whether that be Bruno Fernandes or Mason Mount. If, of course, Mason Mount's fit and available, or Christian Eriksen. Because you got defensive cover, you got the higher work rates in Kobe, Manu, and Casemiro, you got the higher energy levels, and then you've got a bit more of a creative outlet in Christian Eriksen. Just an idea, just a thought. Don't know what everybody else thinks about the idea. Maybe it's a bright idea, maybe it's a stupid idea. I don't really know. But for me, someone who's got a good eye for a pass and will do the business in linking up the play. We need someone who's got the ability to do so. And Bruno Fernandes could be, well, we know he's got the ability, but has he got the form? Has he got the form to do it? That's the big question. That's the only real doubt that I've really got with Bruno Fernandes. I'm sure there's plenty of other people that have a similar sort of doubt. Bruno Fernandes, somebody who's got buckets of talent, but he doesn't really know when to really deliver it on the pitch. You know, he can be quite, he blows very hot and cold, very very hot and cold. So not the most ideal, situation in the world. As for the attack, keep the same team from West Ham, Garnacho on the right, Rashford on the left, and of course then Rasmus Højlund up top. Got to keep those guys firing. For me, Marcus Rashford, again, just somebody else who I'm not really fussed with seeing anymore. For me, he's done in the team. I'm done with him. I've lost the patience with Marcus Rashford, with how many opportunities and times that I've tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. But for the sake of, just getting results over the line, if Rashford's the most in form or the most involved in the games, in the attacking department, especially out on the left, we haven't really got somebody who does a better job at the moment off the left, which is crazy. It's quite damning. But, I mean, Anthony on the right wing, he's not really been that good. And to be honest, my patience with Anthony is pretty much run out. After Wolves, it's not great. It's not good right now for Anthony after that Wolves game, because man was cheaply giving away the ball and pretty much conceding the result. And that's in the opposition's box as well, which is something that you just don't do. You just don't ever do it. So please, fidget spinner, if you ever get game time, start scoring goals or setting goals up. That would be fantastic. Please do that. If you want any chance of staying at this club, You've got. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. If Anthony delivers absolutely nothing of worthy note between now and the end of the season, he'll be sold. I do honestly believe he'll be sold. I think he will. I think Ineos, data science, they look at everything in the fine, minuscule detail. They'll look at Anthony and they'll say, well, even if he's not scoring goals or assisting anything, surely he's just involved, right? He's got to be involved in what's good about Manchester United going forwards, and he never really is. He never really is. Just a bit of work rate here and there, and that's it. That's the best we really get. So yeah, that sit down chat's going to have to happen very very soon, um, and I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. So we'll have to see what happens once the ratification is complete, and then you'll start firing shots and start calling the shots. Then yeah, I think we'll be surprised by a lot of conversations that will happen. Uh, Everyone's saying hello to each other. Fuzz, go out and order chocolate milkshake. Do you know what? For my lunch, I actually had an iced chocolate milkshake, which is actually pretty nice. A place called Coffee Culture. Really nice iced chocolate milkshake. Lovely flavour to it. That, and I had myself a nice tomato mozzarella cheesy panini. Oh, toasted. Toasted tomato mozzarella pesto. Bits of pesto in there as well. So really, really good stuff. Mm. Cheers, guys. Play Garnacho at the right wing, 100%. Got bags of brace from the right wing. Um, I'm pretty sure that's his second. Is that his second brace of the season? Pretty sure it is. But yeah, play him off the right, give him the opportunities, and hopefully he more times than not finds the back of the net. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that's what happens. Either that, or it works vice versa, where Rashford feeds, or he feeds into Rashford. I mean, either that or Rasmus Højlund stays on top of his game. He's got a tough centre back partnership to play up against. Probably Diego Carlos and Longley, or if Pau Torres is fit and available, will be him. I'm sure Pau Torres will end up playing. Whether it's instead of Longley or instead of Diego Carlos, we'll have to see. Um, but a tough centre back partnership that he's got to play up against. But for a striker in form, you back him to continue his role, and we should back him to continue, whether it's goal scoring form or perhaps he sets a few up. Perhaps he sets a few up on Sunday. Can't rule that out. He's got the ability in his locker. Anthony will probably come on at 70/75 minutes. For us, the coveted 70 to 75 minutes portion of the game. And I'll tell you what, even if we are 2-0 up in the game at that point, Anthony comes on, that game is in jeopardy. 2-0, 3-0. That game's in jeopardy if Anthony comes on, because our levels like to drop when we make substitutions, and Anthony's not really a viable goal threat. So you kind of sacrifice the opportunity perhaps to add another goal towards the closing stages of the game. Now, do we want to do that if the game's quite tight? Probably not. For me, I'll probably try and keep the team, especially in the wings, the same as long as possible. If not, give Amad Diallo a shot. Give Amad Diallo a shot. Give him a chance. Give him a run out. Yes, you let Pellistri go. You let Pellistri go to Granada on loan. You're putting your faith in Amad Diallo and saying that this guy can be good enough. Give him the chance. Give him the opportunities. Let's see it. If it's game management, that you shouldn't really have too many problems. But maybe he's a spark in the team that we've yet to really discover. See how he does in the first team picture. See how well he does in the competitive scenario for the club. We'll never know until we try. So we've got to, for me, let's push for Amad Diallo to get onto that pitch. Drew Gunners, big up Fuzz, big ups to you, Drew, and a big ups to you as well for supplying some neat artworks to the people in the community, man. Some good stuff, some good stuff. Of course, with Longhaired Yeti's channel, um, his channel profile picture, and Carl Rossi's as well for his Instagram page. All good stuff, and very, very generous, very, very kind to also do it completely for free. So big ups to Drew Gunners, hats off to him. Do show Drew Gunners some love in chat, people. Um, fantastic, fantastic stuff. Ahmed begging. I have no doubt. I have absolutely no doubt that he's begging. McTominay probably going to play. If he's ever going to play, Raja, if he's ever going to play, please let it be for like the last couple of minutes as a Hail Mary. Please don't let him start games. I don't want us to start Scott McTominay from the beginning of the game. Just sub him on with 10 minutes to go and let him do a Brentford every single week. Bag a couple of late goals late in the day. Just let him run a Brentford strat every single time. Just stay on the bench and think about how you're going to do it. Please don't do it from minute one, because otherwise games are going to be long. Thanks, dude. No worries at all, man. Who you got this weekend? It is Aston Villa away. Aston Villa away. And difficult game. Very difficult game. But the later kickoff of the two games at 4:30, of course, earlier in the day, West Ham versus Arsenal. Looking at Taunt, Early Doors Football TV, and Anthony Herbert, head-to-head stuff going on. It's going to make for interesting reading when we get to Wednesday for episode 5 of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly show. It's going to be some interesting because we got a few little tasters this week. In episode 4, I think episode 5 is going to be an interesting one, and hopefully it's another win for United. So perhaps, just maybe, I can get the good spot. It will be the first time. It'll be the first time. I know it's only episode 5, but come on. Got to try and get in the good spot. And if we get in the good spot, perhaps I can stick a crown of chocolate. Just stick a chocolate milk crown on my head. Or, yeah. Just christen me with the good. Fingers crossed that we can get to Wednesday next week and things actually be good for Manchester United. Maybe not just on the footballing front, but perhaps other features as well around the club. Villa Park is a tough away day. It is. It's a very tough away day. But if we're going off a Wednesday, it's very hit and miss with Aston Villa. Because where a lot of people didn't give Chelsea a hope in hell, Chelsea turned up and actually played really well. Aston Villa were not really competitive until the very, very, very end of the game. And that's damning. That's very damning. That was also at Villa Park. Manchester United usually can get good results. Good results against Aston Villa. Of course, the previous result, 3-2 win at Old Trafford from 2-0 down, and we did relatively well in that game after recovering from the two hammer blows in the first half. And for me, hopefully this time around, There's no hammer blows that we have to take in order to get competitive in the game, and that we can just lead the result from the front, from the start, sort of early first half, get into the swing of things, control that game, and then see out a 3-pointer. That would be fantastic if we can do that. Of course, saying that we want to do that and actually doing it's two different things. Two different things altogether. Right. As far as the score prediction goes, what did I say? What do I think for a score prediction? I don't know if I've already predicted. I don't know if I've already predicted a scoreline. I'm pretty sure I have. Pretty sure I have. But maybe it's subject to change. But for me, I'm going to go with a 2-1 to United. I'll go with 2-1 to United. I'll say maybe a goal from midfield, a goal from the attack, and then perhaps a second half resurgence from Aston Villa, because that's kind of the way that the games have been going as of late. Good first halves, and then bit in the balance sort of second half. Well, if you talk about Wolves, that was scary hours. If you're talking about West Ham, a bit more comfortable. So, yeah, for me, I think Villa will make tough work of this. Will absolutely make tough work of this game. But I think perhaps we've got just about enough to shrug off the challenge, to ride the challenge, to ride the waves, to surf that wave, the Aston Villa wave, and get out the other side with 3 points. So I'm backing a 2-1 win to United. I've never really, so far this season, predicted so many wins for Manchester United, and actually getting wins when I predict them. So, I ain't complaining. Keep it coming. Keep it coming, Man United. Please, please do. I'm enjoying winning games on the bounce, on the roll. So, all of that good stuff. They are a funny team at the moment, Manchester United. Which team is going to turn up? That's the thing. That's the thing. Which Manchester United are going to show up? You can flip that question to Aston Villa. Which Aston Villa is going to show up? Is it the Unai Emery masterclass Villa, or is it the Unai Emery disaster class? Which Villa is going to turn up, and which Man United is going to turn up? Maybe neither team turn up. Maybe it's just an awful sort of 0-0/1-1 game. Maybe it turns out like that. I'm not really too sure. But anyways, before I wrap things up, there's one little thing I've got to address. There's one little thing I've got to address. Let's see. Let's see if I can get a nice, picturesque representation of this. Let's open up the Google. Here we go, guys. So, referees are going to be running around and showing this to players. Here you go. It's not yellow. It ain't red. Sin bin time. Blue cards are being introduced. Why blue? Why blue? I'm confused. Why blue? It's a bit of a weird one. Kind of like sin bins in football. That's a rugby thing. Sin bin players. Is there a limit? Is there a cap to sin bins? Like how many sin bins can each team get at a time? because I'll tell you what, that would really disrupt the flow of a lot of games, probably most games, to be fair, because you could decide between a yellow card and a red card if something that usually the referee gives a yellow card and people say, oh, that should have been a red, he goes and gives blue cards to players, and then it changes the game. I think the blue cards thing, for me, no chance. I don't want to see no blue card inside referee's pocket. Listen, if there's any blue cards turning up at any football grounds right now, I want it being blue light cards for emergency service workers. Yeah, the only blue cards that I care about being at a football match. For me, keep it yellows and reds, yellow cards and red cards. For me, VAR is VAR going to have influence on a blue card decision as well? You know, for blatant obvious errors or a clear and obvious error. Does VAR say overrule your yellow card and change it to a blue card? Is that going to be a case? Is that going to be a feat? I hope not. I do not want to see us go to anything with blue cards. No to blue cards. So Drew Gunners agrees with that. Is it championship and lower where they are going to where they are trying it out? I actually don't know. I actually don't know what sort of level we're looking at. But I mean, just in general, I mean, I don't know if in like the lower levels or lower divisions of football, if the fans even down there would tolerate a blue card. But I think the FA, the FA, and whoever it is that's come up with the idea of blue cards, one needs to be fired, but two, perhaps maybe these associations should listen to fans. Just an idea, a bit of a thought, just a side note. Maybe the fans who are the lifeblood of the sport, their opinion matters. It's them that you are delivering the games to, that you are officiating for. Perhaps listen to them because they're the ones that are putting the money in your back pocket by tuning in to watch the games that you officiate and the ones that you run. So perhaps their opinions are worth something. 100% need to stop messing with the game. Completely agree. Completely agree. They're doing too much as a way to say, "Oh, let's think what we can do that gives football a different feel, that changes it. Try different things." Listen, I haven't got a problem with changing things in football, but introducing new things into football, into the concept of the game, for me, no. That's where I draw the line. I don't want to see random additions or side quests that seemingly become a part of the game. If you want to change competitions and the format of the season, I'm here. I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Let's see what you've got to say. Let's hear you out. But if you're bringing in different coloured cards to influence and give the flow of the game complete different complete different feelings and different moods and inciting different emotions, for me, no chance. Heard something about it won't be the Premier League or other top leagues. Wow. Thank goodness it doesn't start straight away, because I can imagine that if it doesn't get as much outrage, they'll roll it out to the Premier Leagues. I think for me, fans have got to make it really, really clear that it's an outrage. Very, very clear that it's a really big outrage. Make a big enough issue of it, then quite possibly, just quite possibly, you can actually sway things in your favour. Fan influence, as the lifeblood of the sport and lifeblood of the clubs. Fans' voices matter. Send the blue card to the MLS, mate. I'll tell you what, they'll find a way to really screw up the blue card. Instead of a sin bin for 10 minutes, you play a blue card, it unlocks a hero, and the hero runs onto the pitch wearing a different coloured kit. And basically, that hero can have special abilities. And one of the abilities for one of the heroes is that for 10 seconds, a player is allowed to pick up the ball and run to wherever he wants to run before he has to drop the ball and avoid getting a red card. So if he's holding onto the ball for longer than 10 seconds, he gets sent off. But he's allowed to run with the ball to somewhere else in the pitch and drop it to somebody else. Maybe that's what the MLS would end up doing. I don't know how messed up things are over there. But yeah, if you want to experiment stuff like that, I hope never comes into the Premier League. Those leagues over there, they can have that sort of thing going on there. But anyways, that is pretty much it's drawn the show to a close. Can you imagine? You never truly know. You never truly know, Drew. Crazy, wacky things. They're out there. People are coming up with ideas every single day, and many of which are not the best ideas for football and the future of the sport. So, yeah, we've got to hope. We've got to live in hope, pretty much. That it never really comes to desperation for introducing new things into football that have never been natural to the sport. Again, as I've said, you want creativity, please entertain me with like the structure of competitions and the structure of the calendar season. All of that stuff, cool, experiment with it. But please don't bring stuff into the game that the fans don't want, that the fans never asked for. Because I'll tell you what, I mean, VAR might have had fans asking for it, but blue cards? I don't think anybody's really wanted blue cards or any sin bins in the game, so it is what it is. Are you on any other shows tonight? I have not got plans for any other shows tonight. I'm wondering, yes, he is live at the moment. He's live at the moment. So, people, on the way out, that stream link down there in the chat is where I want to send everybody to. Over on Arsenal, the history and more. Jez is back. He's back in the game. He's back on the stream after being in hospital for the first part of this week. And of course, now he's back home, which is fantastic stuff. Fantastic news to hear. And he's back live streaming at the moment. I'll wrap things up over on this end. Do be sure to jump over to that stream. The link is in that channel, in the chat. Links in the chat to the stream. Do be sure to head over there and drop a fuzzy raid. Drop a fuzzy raid, fizzy raid, however you want to. And don't forget to say hi to Anthony Eyebrows Herbert and also Tont the Tront, and all of that good stuff. So, of course, links there. Also, even VR takes it out of the game. For me, yeah, I want it removed as well, to be honest. But anyways, that's it for me for tonight, guys. Thank you ever so much for tuning in and watching. Do be sure to like and subscribe. And on top of that, any thoughts and feelings about the Aston Villa game, as well as your predicted lineups, score predictions, all that good stuff, drop them in the comment section below and all that good stuff. We'll be seeing you again, perhaps over the weekend. And as to what shows they'll be on, most likely, well, you're going to get the match reaction, of course, on the Sunday. straight after the game. As well as that, perhaps, quite possibly, on the Sunday Takeaway Show on Early Doors Football TV. So keep your eyes peeled for that stuff. Thank you very much for tuning in. Big ups to Drew Gunners as well. Have a good evening. Have a good evenings to you too, man. Hope you have a swell weekend also. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you again very soon. All the best. Ciao for now. Don't forget Fuzzy Raid in Jersey Street.